I see you, gazing down from the pale moon. Can you feel my thoughts? Can you hear my voice? Does any of it have a meaning? You're awake. Not too soon, I'll tell you that. Did you sleep well? I know the situation was long ago in your mind. Something as distant as a faraway dream. Now, speaking as though you are the wind, I will protect you. Odd words from someone in my position. I'm sure you can figure out any number of reasons why I would betray you, but not one as to why I would say those words. Is that not the case? Well, relax. It'll be less drafty. We should be fairly safe here. So, what is it that drove you here? Even now, there's so many questions I have about you. So many things I could say, and yet none of them with enough conviction or basis to... What I'm trying to say is, I wish to grow and know you more. If we are going to be travel companions, as we so decided, it might be best to know much more. Your answer, I appreciate that. The honesty, the thought, the wonder of if I could even be worthy of those words. In truth, I've thought the same, but you are far from just a wanderer, are you not? Tell me, and don't mince your words. Why is it I can see something in your eyes, be it tragedy or just mere apprehension? What do you think the reason for that is? What drives you, even now? Is that so? Such a simple reason. To find dreams as whimsical as crystal flies, dazzling in the light of a new dawn. Can you see it? The horizon, out that window of this humble inn. There's a world out there, not so kind as your words, but filled with things you'll need to know. First of all, we'll need to establish you. That is of the utmost importance. You'll be joining the Adventurers Guild, as will I. As for what that means, for now, we're officially a party. You and I. There may be one interloper that does eventually join us. And don't hold your breath. He could be gone. Gone like dust in the wind by now. As for if he's not, well, to say I'd be thankful, that may be not quite the truth. Hate. Why bother holding on to such wasteful intentions? If I'm honest, I don't hate anyone except for those who deserve it. That, annoying as they may be, the one I speak of is not quite so bad. But enough about someone who may or may not be a part of what we do. You're going to need some training, some understanding. We need to survive, you and I. Do you understand that? Breaking for a moment. I don't mean it in such a way that you can't be something more, but that you need to blend in for now. I won't even lie to you. My intentions are anything but good. Not so much with you, but as my end goal is something inexcusable. I can only hope that by then our paths will have long since drifted apart. No, it's not that I want that. It's that you need that. I can see your heart that you wear on your sleeve. That by itself is too dangerous. Shut up. I know your intentions, how you see me through rose-tinted eyes. But why? When you know I've killed before, and I will kill again. My purpose isn't just to blend in, nor am I some sellsword, but someone seeking true vengeance against someone who may or may not deserve it. Tell me, do you believe revenge has an expiration date? Do you believe I'm wrong for wishing to torment that which tormented me? Or do you not believe in the concept of an eye for an eye? The innocence in your eyes, it's as obvious as the christening sun over the horizon. You still have light within you. That alone is enough reason to keep you at arm's length. Yet why? Why did I find myself hopelessly enamored? Even I can't say for sure. In fact, No. I live without regrets. But instead I would call it an apprehension. Something that offsets how I feel and what I need to do. You almost make me think of life, what it could have been, before my soul turned to tar and my eyes filled with blood. Vengeance is not something as kind as you think. In your eyes, I may seem like a hero enacting revenge on a villain. But what if it's the opposite? What if I'm the villain, and the one I seek to destroy is no longer the monster that caused me agony? What do you think of that? Would you still look at me with that gaze? Could you? Even if you wanted to. Don't think too hard about it. It isn't your fault. Even slightly. If only because, despite your best efforts, you've only scratched the surface of what kind of man I am. Dare you to look any deeper, and you may find things you can't forgive. Things that disgust or fear, that strikes your heart like a sword through the innocent. I stand before you, a companion for now, but you should know this companionship is equal parts dangerous as it is something you should be leery. You don't strike me as a villain, and while I might not be, as if one from a story or fairy tale, I do consider myself ruthless in my goal. Anyone who gets in my way, they'll all be dealt with. I know how that sounds. When I say it, there's something light that fades from my eyes, isn't there? You would say something so innocent at a time like this. I almost feel sorry for involving you, and yet, if it is your will, I have no room to oppose. Your will means something, and it should always carry weight to those who... to those of us who meet under the pale moon, the wanderers of the world. Whether you belong here with me or not, you still find yourself walking beside me, and for that alone I'll thank you. But now, if the worst comes of this, there may not be a tomorrow. Do you have the steel to understand that just might happen, even now? The time we face, it's so empty. Do you ever think, when looking up at the stars, about what you want to do in the future? I have never had that luxury. It was always fixation on the moment. Something that is my biggest pride, and also my greatest shame. The lives I've taken, the purposes, the dreams shattered like a mirror. I do regret it at times. Those who have gotten in my way. Do you see me past the monster? Or is that what I am to you? A monster? Clearly not. Your affection is as obvious as that cool cross breeze. Refreshing, but also, I worry. I don't want that expression to be sullied by my impure intentions. If I chase revenge relentlessly, and someday we cross paths with such an end as to my own selfish dream, would you forgive me for leaving first? My revenge, as shameless as it is to admit, means everything to me. And while you have my interest, intrigue, and even some of my passion, You must understand, the reason I draw breath is for the purpose of stealing the breath from another. That alone makes me someone with a fixation beyond mere words. Someone who, if I dared to say I love you, how would you take it? How would it mean anything? If, however, I succeed in my revenge, and you still accept me, I may consider continuing on, beyond even the crimson moon, dyed in the blood of all those who have wronged me, and those of my clan, my people. We lived for our own purpose. I won't say they were blameless, but they are gone now. My revenge centers around facing they who stole their breath. They go by many names, but a dangerous group would be a gross understatement. They are swordsmen of magic and dark creeds. The things they've done throughout history have been two goods followed by one evil. Unfortunately, my people were victim of such dastardly means. I've said too much already, but it's only fair that I explain why I'm chasing so desperately. My revenge is what's on my heart. Whether I wish for it or not, I owe it to the dead, those lost. And while I have my sins to bear, I can at least say I hold very little regret for my actions. As I've said, the group, they are anything but seen as evil, which means the world will see me as the evil Ronin, someone lost to the world, a remnant of something, a blemish of sorts, the last member of something labeled an evil organization. And yet here I stand, villain or hero, before you. I share in what little I can, because it's rare that I ever have the opportunity to talk to someone, let alone someone willing to hear me for more than a moment. Speaking without blades is refreshing. I do so enjoy the small things, the graces that I do not deserve. You, how is it that you're still here? That you still look at me with those eyes filled with hope, filled with something much, much more, something good than I deserve. I see you as an unfair twist of fate, only because I can't bring myself to see you as guilty. Would you forgive me if I ended them all? You don't seem to understand. There is reason why I've hesitated to mention them by name. They are... Never mind. I've said too much already. As for what comes of it, I suppose for now, I'll leave it to your imagination. Get some rest. I'll tend to the fire for a little longer. I see. You wish to follow me, even to such an extent. Watching between the darkness of night, the contrast of the moon glistening down like rays from God above. If there is a God, I wonder how he views my revenge, my conviction. Do you ever wonder if there's someone looking down, judging you, protecting you, condemning you, saving you? What do you think? Are they just whimsy we create in our heart of hearts? Or is it something more? Regardless, you should rest now. If you wish, I will keep you in my arms. I know my skin is rough, my hands, the scars on my body. Yes, you can touch them if it suits your fancy. I wish I could remember how I got them, but time and time again, I would survive, laced with wounds as deep and as painful as death itself. And now, they are reminders that feel so different. So, feel free to make the stories of which you've had in your mind for why they exist, because that's about as close to the origin as you're going to get, I'm afraid. Touching them, it does feel refreshing. Your hands are cold, but they're tender, gentle, refreshing, and oh so welcome. Yet I have mixed feelings about such a close relation, not because of you, but because our nature is so different, you and I. I seek just and unjust revenge, and you seek to redeem something. Is it yourself? Do you view yourself as a villain because you can't look past, you can't forgive something deep inside those eyes? I can see it, glistening against the fire. Your scars run as deep as mine, even if your body lacks the outward display to show it. Shh. Dwell on it no more. Now is not the time to berate nor belittle yourself. Instead, take your time. Slowly. Give yourself a moment to forgive. I appreciate it. My sins are not the kind that can be washed off with water or blood. Instead, I have accepted my place as a cruel sinner. But you don't have to. You don't have to give up. You know, on feeling like you're normal, unforgiving and letting go of things. Perhaps I am, as you would say, a hypocrite for saying it, but I don't think you're too far gone yet. That is my hypocrisy. You're free to believe that, if you so desire. I'm not trying to deny. If you wish to try and save me, I only fear I may disappoint you quite readily. What is life without passion? Even if my purpose is clear, you make me waver ever so slightly. You bring out hope in me I didn't know I had. That when I look into your eyes, just like this, I can see just glimpses of a future without a horrible end. A boring, drawn-out future of traveling the world with you for purposes less discreet, less vengeful. That's a fun thought. Even I can admit that. But a dream is called as such because it remains in the realm behind our eyelids. Wouldn't you say? Don't look so glum. I may just not be the type of soul suited to this, but I also may not care enough to deny that I do feel something when I'm here with you, warmed by the fire as much as your skin. I see. I understand. Your pure wish to save me may just be a difficult one, after all. For I am not such a good man as you seem to have pleased me. I can only half promise my heart to you now. I'm afraid, for many reasons, least of which is how that kiss made my heart feel for the first time in so long.